I'm sure you're like me and have had those instances where you've picked up your cell phone to make a call only to have it not go through or a message pop up on your cell phone saying no cell signal. Or you've had that conversation where you're talking to someone and then suddenly you can't hear them or they can't hear you and you're both going, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" Well, those are both signs of having a weak or no cell signal coming to your phone or the person that you're calling. In this video, I'm going to show you a slick way on your iPhone to take care of that problem. My name is Rick Smith. I'm the creator of the YouTube channel RS Tech ALO. I try to provide tips and techniques on all things technical that we have to deal with in our daily lives. And in this video, I want to share with you a way to solve the problems when you have limited cell phone signal or no cell signal at all. But before I get into that, I just wanted to briefly let you understand what can cause the cell signal to be bad. Now, in this day and age, there's cell towers just about every place we go when you're outside. But when you go in buildings or you're out in the middle of nowhere, that can be a little more tricky. When you're in buildings, as an example, in our old 1920s built house, we had plaster walls and we had wood laths. So we had thick walls and we had the big thick panes of glass. And so inevitably, when a cell signal would try to pass through those walls, we would lose part of that power. The same thing happens when you go into your office or you are going shopping or you're in a big box store. Those buildings are typically built with brick or concrete. They typically have metal roofs. And inevitably, when you're in those buildings, you'll have less of a cell signal. So in those cases, what can you do? Well, in my case, in the old house, I would feverishly look for a window to stand by, move around the house to different rooms to see if I can get a better connection. The best solution is to go outside. Well, you don't want to do that in the middle of winter. So are there any other alternatives that you can do to make this happen? Well, on your iPhone, there is, and it's called Wi-Fi calling. And what we're going to do is look at how Wi-Fi calling can be set up on your phone and make the cell phone either move from cell signal to your Wi-Fi call depending on the best signal you get. So if you're ready to get going, let's get started. I've moved to my iPhone now so you can see how to get to the proper settings to set up Wi-Fi calling on your phone. So here you see the iPhone settings icon, the gear. You want to click on that. And then in this, you want to go to where it says cellular. So you click on the line that says cellular and you'll see this window here. Now, as you look down these, we don't want to mess with any of these, but towards the bottom here, you can see Wi-Fi calling. And we click on that and this menu pops up. And you can see right now Wi-Fi calling on this phone is shut off, and it describes that this will allow you to make and receive calls over Wi-Fi using my Verizon account. So I'm going to click on that to slide the slider to the right. And this window pops up and it says, when you join this network, information about the country where your network connection is made may be sent to your carrier. So just kind of a de facto for them. It also says for short code calls, the town or city may be sent for call routing purposes, and you can change these. All those things I haven't done anything with. It's just a notification from your carrier about what turning this on will do. So we want to click on enable. And now we see below there, update emergency address, and a little bit about that. When you're using your cell phone and you had to call 911, the GPS location of your call is pretty exact to the 911 dispatch or anybody that can access that data. However, if you use Wi-Fi and use a Wi-Fi system in a building or your home or somewhere, it doesn't necessarily know exactly where you are in that building or in that Wi-Fi system. So for example, say you were in Lowe's shopping and you're using their Wi-Fi system. You could be in the back of the store, and if you had an emergency, the dispatch would only see the call was coming from Lowe's. It's just an example, but the point being that it does not know your exact location when you're using this Wi-Fi calling feature. So in this case, you see the update emergency address button. And what this will do is it allows you to fill out this information for you. And it says you must enter your address where you want your emergency services to be sent if you call 911 from this device. So in this case, it's going to go to our home address where I have my Wi-Fi calling set up. But this is important. It needs to have an address identified so that when 911 calls, it has a location to identify as the place to go to. So just a point of interest on this, you need to set up an address that it can identify this call from, and also from the standpoint of where you're located when you're using the Wi-Fi system. And then another feature for those of you that have other Apple devices like iPads, you can turn on this button here, and what this will do is identify the fact that you can use your Wi-Fi calling from your tablet for like FaceTime or things of that sort. It will also allow you to answer phone calls at your iPad if you have this turned on your iPhone. So in this case, I would click on the I agree button and then hit continue. And it says success. This address has been successfully added. Please close this window to continue. And there you have it. That's all you have to do. So now if we go back to the cellular section here, you can see that if we go down to Wi-Fi calling, it's on, and it also says calls on other devices, so you can make Wi-Fi calls from your iPad through your iPhone. As simple as that. And here's a couple bonus tips for you on how this could be an advantage to you when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Say you're traveling in your car through the middle of Montana, or you're in Nevada, someplace that there are very few or no cell signals. If you have one of the newer cars today that have built-in Wi-Fi systems that provide internet access through their satellite connections to their cars, you can now use this to make your cell phone calls in the middle of nowhere. Just simply hook up your cell phone to the Wi-Fi system in your car and you're good to go. The other place, which is kind of neat, is when you're flying. Now, usually you're supposed to put your phone in airplane mode when you fly, and you certainly can do that. But if you have, or the plane has Wi-Fi available to be used during the flight, now you can hook up your phone to their Wi-Fi system, and now you can make calls using your cell phone through their Wi-Fi system. So having the Wi-Fi option turned on your iPhone is a great advantage to make sure that you can make or receive calls at any time. I hope this video was helpful to you, and it helps eliminate those broken up calls you receive, and also helps you make calls when you're in areas where you have little or no cell service. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave this on this video as well. And stay tuned for more RS Tech ALO videos where we try to help everyone with their day-to-day tech problems.